What is going on, people? Welcome back to another episode. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a podcast intro for your podcast, whether that's sit down face to face or using Zoom, how I like to do it. Now, obviously, if you are looking to create a podcast, I've already created a video here, how to record a podcast using only Zoom. The reason I like to do it like this is simply for the fact that I can host my podcast anywhere in the world. I can also have guests that are anywhere in the world. So I'm not stuck to one location, and obviously only being able to have the guests that are, within a radius around me, right? So I can have guests anywhere in the world, and I can also be anywhere in the world when I do this. Once you're in Final Cut Pro, we just want to come and hit File, New, and Project. Now I'm going to assume that you're creating these videos for YouTube simply because that's how I do it, and I'm going to show you sort of my method, right? So let's just put new podcast intro, and we're going to start designing our intro. So the first thing I would start with is a generator and just sort of map out how long I want this clip to be. So to be fair, around 10 seconds is bang on, because we don't want it to be too quick, we don't want it to be too short. Like, we want it to be nice and precise and just tell everyone what it is, and just start designing it from there. I've already got some music that I'll probably use from my boy Honeywood6. Go check out Luke's stuff, I'll leave it somewhere in the description. Command B, drag this up to there, and now I've got my 10 seconds, so Command and B, split that, and now I've got my music behind it. Obviously, if you haven't got any music to use that's uncopyrighted, then you want to go to the YouTube audio library, find something in there. You're going to find something decent. The reason I use that is because obviously I'm trying to support my friend as well. I want to keep something consistent for the podcast. Like, I think audio now is like a big thing, so I wanted to keep something consistent, and obviously I wanted to plug Luke in the same sense with that. So I'm just having this small little part, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a sound effect. I think I've got like an explosion. Let's use that one. Let's drag this on. We're just going to put it on the end. So it's going to... So you want to edit to the music as well, I always think. So you can see the audio waves in here. Cool. So what we're going to do with that is drag that to there. Yeah, that's cool. That is basically what I want to do, right? Because I want to start on this bit, and now we're just gonna delete that, so it starts there. I'm gonna get rid of when it drops back in, so we're gonna delete that part, we're gonna delete this bit and have it there. So it's 9 seconds long now. Cool. So you need to do that part first, I think, because the audio is going to be a very important part, and now obviously you can sort of edit to the music. So the podcast itself is the Design a Future podcast. So I've already got an intro, but we're just doing this to help you guys out, obviously. So let's just go into custom, and we're going to add our text in now. So obviously the main thing I want to add is the name of the podcast. So obviously if you've got all of your branding sorted for your podcast already, this stuff is going to be pretty easy, right? So let's just use this for an example. So we're going to have that drop in, so it's like, and then we can add other things when these things come into it, right? So we can just do the same thing, so hit Alt and then drag the existing thing up, and you can copy it, so it's just made a duplicate of it. And now for the sake of this, let's put hosted by Thorpe, maybe. Hosted by Thorpe, right? Just as like a little thing underneath, by Thorpe. Can drag that underneath. And now we want to drag this back to this next part where the music comes in. So I can tell straight away that this is just too long, right? So I want it to be probably about there. So I'm just going to literally highlight everything, hit Command and B, and then we're just going to get rid of that part there, so it just goes straight into it. And now I'm going to actually cut this audio underneath, so it just goes nice and quick, to the point, very, very quick and simple. Now what we can do is we can go into some third party stuff. So let's bring in something like Pexels, and let's just look for like audio. We're going to use this one here, the one of the guy counting money, just because it's sort of on thingy with the podcast itself. And then we download this one from Anthony as well. And now we've basically got these two things to start working with. Firstly, I'm just going to change this by Olley Thorpe. We're going to change this to some other sort of text, like yeah, that one looks nice. Designer feature podcast. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change some of the text to a different color. I think that's gonna have a big impact. So the designer future, we're going to change future to green. I don't know if we can do this in the same, because I can imagine that it's going to change all of them. Oh no, cool, it's done it. So let's change this to green. Let's just change it. Yeah, yeah, I think that looks kind of cool. And let's also put a glow on it. We're going to add a little glow, add this radius to like so. I think it's cool. And now we just want to add these stock images, or stock videos should I say, into here as well. So just literally just drag them into the timeline for the time being. Drag them into the timeline for the time being. And now find the other one. Does the other one even come in? Oh, it has. There it is. Cool. And now what we can do is just literally drag these on top and decide how we want them to be shown. So first things first, we want to select both of them and trim them down to within the podcast bit. And now we've got this cool little thing here. What we can do is we can use half and half, so it's like this. And obviously you can tell that doesn't look that great, right? So we want to make a few little adjustments on it. One being, I'm going to change the opacity on this because it just looks a bit silly, but I do like it, the whole like just people. Same again, we just want to take the opacity down on this one, and then what we can do is we can just drag this one out of the way, and now we're just going to go in between the two. I kind of like it. I like it. What we're going to do is we're just going to make the most of this first part here, so we're going to use some sort of promo at the, not promo, but we're going to have some like call to action straight at the beginning. So I've got in my YouTube assets this subscribe notification thing, so I'm just going to come in and drag this basically, and we're going to actually put this at the start. I'm just going to have it from here where it's going to be like them turning the subscribe button on. So it's going to be like this, and then little tip, all you do is come to the keyer and drag this on top. So let's put this here, even though this is going to look a bit weird now because it's just going to be, let's just drag this and make it smaller. Oh no, not that one. Drag this part and make this part smaller, or make this part bigger, so we can see that regardless of what's going on here. This in the middle, like so, and then we want to drag this past here. So we're going to have this. Now with this part, the opacity part, we can drag that right down if we want, just to about here. Cool. Now I think that works really well, simply because you've got the click and it looks like you're clicking subscribe to then reveal the title of the podcast, which I think is pretty cool. I really like that. The only thing that I'm going to change is I'm going to like make this drag in somehow, which I'm thinking if we have underneath right? The only reason I'm going to put it underneath is so what we can do is we can drag this from outside of it. So what you want to do is come to the right hand side to the inspector tab here, and you're going to notice this position thing here where you can just change the position, and that's going to go behind. That's going to be cool. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this out of the frame, and now we're going to hit the keyframe, and now we're going to use our arrow keys on the keyboard to just go over a couple of frames. So use the right key, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And what you just want to make sure is that you're actually going across on the keyframe. So you can see there, I didn't actually move on the frames. So we just want to go 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to click back onto this one here, and we're going to change our position and just drag this to the position we want it to be. So around there. And now when you watch this back, you're going to see how that's going to float in. Boom, and you're done. So I hope that helped, guys. Go ahead, make that intro, make that podcast you've been waiting to start. Like I said, I have got a video that will show you exactly how I create podcasts using only Zoom. This podcast video, right, I kid you not, I made this back in March, I believe, and I've had so many people come through that YouTube video and tell me that they've started their own podcast, which for me is amazing. Like, to know that that video might have been the reason that someone started their own podcast is insane to me. So yeah, hope that helped, guys. If it did, please go ahead, smash the subscribe button, and of course leave this video a like. It's going to allow YouTube to show this video to more and more people. And yeah, hope it helped, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace. Hollywood 6.